When it comes to video games, there's one genre that is very direct and very honest when it comes to its competitive nature. I'm talking about fighting games. And recently, I got very heavily into fighting games, and today I want to show you why and maybe why you should get into fighting games as well. Hi, my name is Ray. Welcome to my place. So even though I said I got into fighting games very recently, I have a short backstory when it comes to fighting games. Believe it or not, the first video game I was introduced to was a fighting game. It was Mortal Kombat 1 for the Sega Mega Drive. And that was about 27 years ago. I know, back then I was very young, and some of you might say, why should a small kid play such a gruesome and horrific, violent game like Mortal Kombat? That's a question you rather ask my youngest uncle. But nonetheless, a fighting game introduced me into the world of video games, and with that said, I always had an affinity to fighting games. And every time I touched a fighting game, I got used to it very quickly. So may it be Street Fighter 2, Tekken 2, Tekken 3, Virtua Fighter 3, TB, or Mortal Kombat X. I have a lot of fighting games in my repertoire in the past, but over time I kinda lost the interest because I discovered other single-player video games. Then I jumped into MMORPGs, and then League of Legends came into my life. After League of Legends, I jumped to Valorant, which I also play quite frequently. But the one fighting game I played for a very long time was Tekken Dark Resurrection on the PlayStation Portable, and oh boy, I played this game so much. My PSP had so many hours of runtime. So Tekken Dark Resurrection, which is basically Tekken 5 for the PSP, was the first fighting game which I spent a lot of time into it, developing the craft, learning the mechanics, learning different combos. And for that time, considering there was no online play like in the classic sense that we have today, I would say I was pretty okay. But after that, I didn't really connect to any other fighting games because a lot of different games came into my life. And very recent, a couple of months ago, where I was frustrated, League of Legends was shit, Valorant didn't run as I wanted it to run, and I got a recommendation on Steam for a very recent fighting game, Guilty Gear Strive. Guilty Gear is also not a foreign franchise to me, because on my PlayStation Portable I also played Guilty Gear. I don't really remember which one it was. I think it was X and Core Plus or something along those lines. So I decided, let's try Guilty Gear Strive. Also, it was on sale for like 20 or 30 bucks, and I thought, let's pick it up and see how much fun it is. And I played it for a while, until I thought, let's get back into Tekken, because not too long ago Tekken 8 was presented, or more like that Tekken 8 will come, and I decided let's pick up Tekken 7 and see what we can do. And from here I got totally stuck into fighting games, rotating between Tekken 7 and Guilty Gear, and very recently I also picked up Street Fighter 6, which is the newest game in the franchise. It looks amazing, but it's very different compared to the other two games, so learning a new game is always a challenge, especially when it comes to combos or basic game mechanics. So fighting games are my current craze, and I'm spending a lot of time into it, learning the games, learning the characters, learning the mechanics, and it's fun. It is fun. Is it hard? Yes. Do I get frustrated? Yes. Will I stop playing it? Definitely not, because fighting games are challenging and you should challenge yourself as well. Fighting games have this really raw, competitive nature. Other than team-based games, there's no one to blame. It's just your skill and the skill of your opponent. What is also great about fighting games is the whole community. So when you pick up a fighting game, there is most likely a Reddit, a Discord, or even, yes, I'm old, a Facebook group where it's all about this game. So right now I'm in a Street Fighter 6 group and in a Tekken 7 group. And in those groups you start to interact with other people. People share clips, people share opinions on certain characters, certain game mechanics, and as soon as you partake into those like posts or opinions or discussions, you automatically become a member of the FGC, the fighting game community. And even though it sounds very big, and Like, it is very big. The FGC itself is not as big as you might think. So it's very easy to be recognized, and in a good and in a bad way. That means if you post a lot of negative things, people remember your name, and that gives you a bad reputation. On the other hand, if you're a very positive person, you meet a lot of people that want to play against you. That's a way to find friends, like in this whole fighting game community. Because all those years playing League of Legends made me, I hate to say it, but a really toxic person. The League of Legends community is very close. Like, many people are playing just for themselves. Sometimes you have friends that you play with, but it's very easy, like, to flame someone. Maybe you get reported, but nothing happens. It's very easy to insult someone. It's very easy to blame someone else for your loss. So especially if you currently play a game like League of Legends or Valorant, for example, where you developed a very toxic mindset over the past years or months, joining a fighting game community is actually kind of good for your mental health and also like your overall sportsmanship. Because, you know, it takes one bad message and everyone in this community knows who you are, and a bad reputation in a small group is never good. Overall, I don't want to make this video too long. I just want to say fighting games are very honest, are a lot of fun, and if you want to get into fighting games, join me in the next video, because I will tell you how you can get into fighting games the easy, kill that, it's never easy, the fun way, and the most efficient way. So I hope you liked this little rant about fighting games, and I hope to see you next time here at my place.